You know what I don't like, Corey?
What don't you like, Jake?
I don't like the Twitch mobile app. I don't like it at all. I think it's pretty bad. You're making faces like you disagree.
No, I 100% agree with you. It's
okay.
dreck. It is absolute dreck.
Yeah, it's appallingly bad. Like, there are times where I'm like, I want to pull something up and watch it, and I can't. Because it just I don't know what it's doing. That any other like I can watch TikToks, I can watch YouTubes, I can watch live YouTube videos, I can watch Facebook lives, but Twitch live, it's like buffering and it won't ever load. It doesn't matter if I'm on my 5G or if I'm on Wi-Fi. Like on the phone, it just ain't running, and it's trash. And I think there's a couple reasons for it. First of all, I want to mention I am a hardcore YouTube user, but I like the platform of Twitch as a live streamer. Like, I like the systems that they have over on Twitch. So I'd really appreciate if Twitch got their shit together and fix this shit. I think the big thing, though, with it, if you watch a YouTube live, right, like a live video on YouTube, even if the video is live, you have the option to rewind the video, right?
Yeah.
So like if you're having any sort of buffering issues, you can just pause the video. You'll be a little behind the live, but like it'll make the video run better. Twitch doesn't have that. I don't know why they don't have that. It's the insane
app,
to me.
I don't mean to cut you off. The app doesn't have that. The desktop version does have live VOD, where you can go into a Twitch streamer's page, at least the streamers that I watch, and you see their live button, and then you see a little VOD that's like recording what they've done live so far, so you can hit that. But it's only available. I've only seen it on the desktop version of Twitch.
And just to clarify what you're saying, you're not saying like previous VODs, because you can go back on the phone and watch previous VODs. You mean like the current stream that's happening right now, you can watch.
Yes,
you can old parts of it. Yeah.
So like before we started taping this show, I was watching the casino heist, and there was something that led up to something that I saw happen. And even though that streamer is still live right now, I can go into their page and roll it back and see what led up to that. But again, I only see that on the desktop version, not the app. And Jake, if you think the Twitch app is hard, try the Apple TV app of Twitch. It is the most unuser-friendly. You're trying to, number one, navigate Apple TV with the freaking touch finger movement remote, okay? And then you're highlighting things. It jumps you over to a streamer that you're not trying to get to, and then when you do get to your actual streamer, it has the comments over, and then to try to get the comments off, you have to use the magic Apple TV remote to navigate down to where Twitch has hidden the controls. And then when you do, you go to, it's so not user friendly. I very rarely use the Twitch app unless I'm on the toilet. If I'm on the toilet and I'm watching a streamer live on my desktop, and I decide that I need to go drop a deuce or a little winkle tinkle, I just switch over to my app. There's no syncing between what I'm watching on my desktop and what comes up on the app. I have to it's actually desynced. It's so funny. I could have the same streamer on my desktop, open on the app, and open on Apple TV, and it all has a different timing. Same streamer, different timing.
Which is why it's like confusing why they wouldn't just have like YouTube does, where you can like pause it and stuff. Because also if a stream buffers and you're watching it live and it buffers, it doesn't start you where it buffered. Like you missed
it jumps
all
ahead.
of the stuff that it buffered. Yeah, which is annoying as hell.
Now that YouTube feature that you like, as a YouTube watcher, I like that feature. But as a YouTube streamer, I don't like that feature because when I fuck up, I don't want people to be able to rewind back, clip it. And
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I get that. I don't have that worry too much myself. But like, yeah, it's. I feel like Twitch could be such a better platform and a bigger platform. It's already a huge platform. I mean, we can't deny that it's a huge platform. But I feel like it'd be an even bigger platform if it took some of the steps that YouTube took to like make their interface work. One thing I really like about YouTube, because I actually have YouTube Premium, which is really nice. One thing I really like about YouTube Premium is I can have a live stream up. Whatever is, I listen to like John Campea. He's like a movie guy. He does like a 3-hour movie show every day. And sometimes I'll listen to that while I'm at work and I'll have like an earbud in. And I can close my phone screen because I have YouTube Premium and the video will keep playing. It'd be real nice if Twitch had that feature because that is not a feature on Twitch.
No, once your phone goes to sleep, and I have my phone that my screen goes off real quick. There's a few apps that I deal with that do that, and it's frustrating, but then also sometimes that's how I get out of stuff. I don't have YouTube Premium, so when my screen goes dark, yeah, my YouTube stops. I don't listen to anything on YouTube that long.
It's a real nice feature of YouTube Premium, and I appreciate it a lot.
I don't use that.
As a hardcore, like podcast listener, like, yeah, it's real nice. And it'd be nice if Twitch had something like that, because sometimes you'll be watching a stream that isn't like a video game stream. Sometimes you'll be watching a stream that's like someone reacting to a video or something, and which I may want to talk about that in the body of the show. But like, you don't really need to watch it. You just want to listen to it or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, it'd be nice if you could just close it and put it in your pocket and still listen to it. I do feel like Twitch is its primary purpose and why it exists and why it's so popular is because it was designed as a desktop thing to have on your second monitor while you're playing a game on your main monitor. Like, I feel like that's what it's designed for. It's like, have Twitch open on your second monitor while you play, I don't know, Age of Empires or whatever you're playing, Civ 5, and it works really well for that. But yeah, it's garbage everywhere, because including on the PlayStation app, it works, but it's trash compared to YouTube.
Yeah, it almost seems like maybe they just, their original idea, like you explained, is double monitor setup, desktop utilization, which most popular Twitch streamers use that setup. But then when they had to become flexible, I guess, with the mobile technology and the gaming technology, and I guess they just did the best that they could, or they just did what they needed to do just to be able to say, yeah, we did it, versus putting a lot of effort behind it, where YouTube, I believe YouTube was around prior to the smartphone. And they, were probably a few years, but they were on the forefront of it, and they probably clearly put a lot more effort behind it. What's interesting to me is that people that Twitch watch on their phones, I couldn't imagine commenting on a Twitch stream on Twitch mobile. I mean, your screen is only so big, and then the comments are going to be even smaller. And then people actually do that, where they're commenting. I always hide the comments because I don't want to read the dreck on the comments, and I don't know when the last time I actually commented on a Twitch streamer's stream. I'm not that into the community. I'm one of those onlookers. I'm not one of those active people that most people in there.
Most people don't comment.
Then there's some people that you see that pop up in the comments, and they make one comment, and then like 1,500 other viewers end up, hey, hi, and I'm like, Jesus, it'd be cool to be that person, but man, I could only imagine how much work that is. But nevertheless, I couldn't imagine how someone would be on their phone with Twitch open, and then 3/4 of their screen is the stream, and then that remaining 1/4 is the comments, and then the comment box is even smaller. I couldn't even imagine how they do that.
I don't know. I think it works because you can. I think what a lot of people do is they'll watch it full screen, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I want to comment something," and then they'll flip the screen, type their thing, go back to full screen or whatever.
Well, what's interesting is that you find the Twitch app mobile challenging, but yet you're part of the Twitch family.
Well, like I said, and this is why I bring it up, because I want Twitch to be better, because it's my preferred platform to stream on, because I like the way it's laid out. I like the way it, I like that it's separate from my YouTube stuff, and I like that, it's more designed around live streaming with the emotes and the communities, and yeah, I think it's like better suited for live streaming than YouTube, but I do think YouTube's video player is better than Twitch's. I think it's the only thing that YouTube does better than Twitch. Granted, it's like the most important thing. So I don't know. I often think about switching to YouTube for these very reasons, because I'm like, it's so much easier to use YouTube as a viewer, not as a streamer. As a streamer, I think Twitch is easier, but as a viewer, I think YouTube's a lot easier. But at the same time, to go back to what you were saying earlier, YouTube has been around a lot longer than Twitch. Not to mention, YouTube has the money of God, but then again, so does Twitch, because they're owned by Amazon. So there's no real reason that they shouldn't be up there too. But Twitch is also smart in the way that because I'm sure this is going to become a problem for YouTube in the coming future, where anyone can post videos to YouTube and they're there forever, pretty much, unless they deem them unworthy of staying up, which takes up a nasty amount of server space. They're gonna have a whole city just filled with servers of YouTube videos one day, I'm sure. Where Twitch is kind of smart, it's like, you can have your Twitch streams saved on your account for 2 weeks, and the only people who have the ability to save their streams for longer are like partnered streamers, and most of them opt out of that anyway, because it's like, yeah, just get rid of it. I probably said some stupid shit and just get rid of it in 2 weeks, and I like that too, just where it's like the stream is gone in 2 weeks, I don't have to think about it ever again.
Yeah, but unless someone clips it.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Clip it out, whatever. It's not that like people are like pretending things don't exist. It's just like I don't have to think about that stuff anymore. Where it's like YouTube, that stuff's there forever, yeah. So
true.
So like Twitch, I think is smart for that aspect. Like their server space is probably a lot less intense than YouTube. It's probably a lot less money to upkeep Twitch than it is YouTube, because of the server space and stuff. But YouTube has the longevity, and like they've been around for so long that they probably have the upper edge when it comes to video players. Because even watching like old VODs, like I'll go back and watch a VOD of someone, not even live, and it's like buffering and stuttering on the Twitch app, and it's just like, why? This should not be happening. Like this should be better. I'm hoping Twitch gets their shit together, because honestly, I've been thinking about switching to YouTube just because I think their mobile app is garbage.
Yeah, I don't find I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum from you, which is no shocker. For my business products, my shows, I see no deeming quality to streaming live on Twitch at all. We have a better saturation and better reach streaming to Twitter than we do on Twitch. And I think it has to do with the fact that my timing is low. Like hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, max. I think Twitch is a more long format platform.
And it's a good place to build like a community.
Yeah.
Just because of like the Twitch emotes and the, you know, the stupid in jokes in the chat and stuff, and like, you know, Streamlabs and stuff, which I know you can do on YouTube and stuff. But like, yeah, I do think like, yeah, for podcasts and stuff, you probably just want to stream it everywhere. You know, you look at Kevin Smith, that dude streams to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, you know, everything, which I think about doing all the time, but I'd have to upgrade my Streamlabs, and I don't want another bill I have to pay every month.
5, 6, 7, 8.
What is up, boys? Welcome to the Jake and Cory Podcast, the only podcast on the internet. There's none others. No other podcasts. We're the only one that exists. We're the first one and the only one to exist on the internet. My name is Jake. That is Cory. What is up, Cory?
All lies. Hi, Jake.
It's not lies. It's true. We're the only podcast.
You know what? We're the only. This is the only podcast right now to the person listening to it.
That's true, unless you're listening to two podcasts. And if that's the case, you are fucking insane. I don't know if I want you listening to my podcast.
If you're listening to two podcasts at one time, you're pretty much XQC. Jake, I have something very cancel culture ready to say that even on the scale of this show may get us kicked off platforms that this show is on.
All right, I'm ready to edit. Let's go.
No, it's not. Well, yeah, you might have to take this whole part out. I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll see.
Because it deals with. I'll give you what it deals with first, and then you give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down.
Okay.
TERRIOST. Okay. And September.
Right.
Okay. So that's you picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm picking it up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in my hand.
All right. So do you give me the thumbs up to keep going? Or
go for it. I don't know what the context is, so.
Or do you need me to give you more hint?
What is it, like 9/11 was an inside job or something?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll open with my wise man line.
Okay.
And you will be able to I literally wrote this down, and you will be able to know if you're smart enough to tell where I'm going with those hints that I just gave you. A wise man once said, "To bring together a division is to have a mutual enemy."
Okay.
Now refer your mind back to those two things that I said I spelled out and the month. And do you see where what might get us canceled if I say what I'm thinking?
Yeah, just go for it. Yeah.
I think we need another 9/11.
Yeah, I knew that. I figured that's where you're going. Yeah, a lot of people have said like we need another like World War II because it saved us from the Depression or whatever.
No, because I'm focusing on the fact of, and I can only refer to September 11th in my lifetime. I know that world wars have happened before. The reason why I say this, and stop me if I'm going too far. The reason why I say I think we need another 9/11 is because this country is so utterly ruthlessly divided amongst itself that if we had a common enemy like we did back in 9/11, I believe that we would see some togetherness. Now, I'm not saying that I know that even then at the time that 9/11 happened, I'm not downplaying what happened. I'm not taking anything away from what happened and the people that lost their lives. But the one thing that you cannot discount is, as a country, there was no such thing as a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent. When we were faced with being attacked by an outside source, we had one common mutual enemy, and across the boards, there was no question but to come together and have a plan of attack. I look at the state of this country right now from my vantage point, and it is so divided, and it just continues to get wider and wider and wider, that if we had a common enemy, it may bring us together like we were, where we truly felt, I will say in my lifetime, I truly felt American during the time of 9/11, where it was like we are the most powerful country in the world, and I felt like we acted like it. I felt like we led like it, and it wasn't who was our president at the time? Bush
Yeah,
was our president. I still, till this day, in my mind's eye, can see that moment where President Bush was sitting in that school library, reading to the kids, and Secret Service walked in and whispered in his ear whatever. I can't remember exactly what they said. I know the documents say what was said. I don't know offhand. But the look on Bush's face was like, oh, yeah, we about to kick some ass. And at that moment, it felt like the country fused together as one. We had a common enemy. And this is my thought that I literally wrote down and I wanted to bring to this show.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need another 9/11, something to fuse this country back together. Someone to stop saying
when it's worded like that, it's hilarious.
something to stop the country from saying I'm a Trump supporter and saying I'm an American. During 9/11, dude, there wasn't no, well, I'm a Republican and this is how we're going to handle it. Well, I'm a Democrat. It was, I'm an American. We didn't even see color wasn't even a factor.
Well, it was
around that time. From my vantage point.
It was, though.
From my vantage point. But
we were pretty racist towards a particular group of people.
Well,
those days.
Afterwards, yeah. Unfortunately, the fallout for that really shook the Muslim community here. However,
and that's always the case, right? I mean, like, I understand the sentiment, not to cut you off. I get the sentiment. I understand the sentiment, and I appreciate the sentiment because, yeah, it'd be real nice.
The sentiment is just to fucking do something about this division. We're not going to get anything done.
Yeah.
And the parable says a house divided against itself cannot stand. We are this country is setting itself up for ruin, for failure. And no one sees that. Everybody's focused on the fight. No one's realizing that if we're divided amongst ourselves, these other countries that have been wanting to take us over or wanting to buy us out, they're just sitting back with their arms folded, watching us destroy ourselves from the inside out. We've given ourselves our own cancer. And the other countries are just waiting for us to become weak enough to swoop in.
Yeah. I understand the sentiment. You want the people to come together. And in that moment, I remember I was young at the time. I remember it though. It felt like everyone was like come together. Everyone was sad. It was a national
It wasn't
tragedy.
everybody come together. It was an automatic American response to get together. It wasn't President Bush didn't have to say, all right, we need to assemble and come together. It wasn't that. It was innate where we came together.
Yeah. And
And we've lost that. We don't remember. On September 11th, we always all on social media. Never forget, never forget. We've forgotten.
Yeah, well, because the outcome of that was pretty tragic. You know what I mean? Not just the event itself, but like the outcome of us going to my entire life, Corey, we have been in war. You know, this is the first time, you know, since we pulled out of Afghanistan that we're not technically at war in my entire lifetime. And that's because of that event. And that's because we all blindly came together and blindly thought that, you know, what George Bush was saying was correct, when in fact, no, he was wrong. And we went to the wrong spots and we did the wrong things. We responded poorly. It shouldn't have happened in the first place, but that's a whole other topic. But I understand the sentiment of being like, man, it'd be nice if we all came together and we all were like,
let's go kick some ass.
We're America and we kick ass. But blind nationalism is pretty dangerous sometimes. And in fact, I think 9/11 is a good example of why blind nationalism is a problem, because we ended up reelecting a dumbass for a second term because we were all blindly like, yeah, we're American. Let's go bomb the Middle East. It doesn't even matter what country it is. You know, it doesn't even matter who it is. Let's just, you know, bomb them, when in actuality, most of it was like oil tycoons and some other bullshit. And like, you know, that's kind of the problem. And I think the division we have in this country, first of all, I think if 9/11 happened today, we would still have the response of like, God damn, that's horrible. Let's get down to the streets. You know, I still think that would happen. I still think everyone would be like, let's, you know, if you're in New York, you know, you're going in there, you're fighting. You know, people are still that.
I don't think they would. I think that the division at this point, people would sit back and say, well, they'd question it faster. Now, I understand what you're saying. And yes, there were some mistakes that happened afterwards. But I think if that happened today, I don't think it wouldn't. Somebody orange would say something and it wouldn't. I don't see that.
Because like let me finish here, because I think if 9/11 happened today, this is such a weird topic, but we're on it now. If 9/11 happened today, I still think like everyone would be like, we need to respond. You know, we still do that stuff. If there's hurricanes, tornadoes and stuff, everyone is quick to respond and stuff. Like, as a nation, I think we care about each other to a certain extent. You know, I think just as humans we do. I don't even think like if something tragic happened in Canada, I think we would be saddened by it. But like, what I don't think would happen is the blind nationalism that happened before, because we do have the internet and we would all be actually like researching like, what the fuck's going on? What is this shit? I remember at the time it was like newspapers are like, that was how you found out, or like your local news. But I remember my parents like reading the newspapers the next day or whatever. But like, yeah, it's just like the internet is. But I think what I agree, we have a lot of tension in this country right now and it sucks. But also the fact that we have that tension just proves to me anyway that we are a free country, because you can't have that tension without the freedom to have that tension. And in times of you know, conflict, that's when we come together the most. World War II, we all came together at that time, you know. But when it's something that's so wrong, you know, we could look at Vietnam, or we can look at, you know, the war on terrorism or whatever it is. I think us as Americans, a lot of us start to like question it, and we're not as strong as a country. Well, I think if we got attacked by fucking, you know, Russia or whatever, it might bring us closer together. But I don't even think that's the actual goal, is for us to be together. Because if we're all together and we all just blindly agree on everything, then it's not true freedom.
Well, not blindly agree.
It's a hot take from me, who constantly shits on this country, because I do shit on this country, even in this sentiment, I'm shitting on the country. But like,
even though
I do think that is part of it.
even though you said that, you still think that we humanly care for each other, I couldn't disagree more.
Hey man, if I saw someone's eyes bludgeoned out on the street, I'd pull over.
That's you. But as a country,
I think there's a
no.
I think you're just being you're a pessimist.
I'm not. I got
in humanity.
One example.
You are.
One example that has ruined my faith in humanity. One example, and then you tell me if this wouldn't wane your faith in humanity. SARS COVID-19.
But that's exactly the point, though, because we had a 9/11 and it didn't bring us together.
A 9/11 that wasn't. I would not classify. Wait a minute. Are you classifying 9/11 like our 9/11 modern day was COVID-19? Is that what you're saying?
It's worse than 9/11.
I can see. I can see both
9/11.
sides to that. But the faith in humanity,
it is,
I believe,
it's killed like
right
30 times as more people.
Yeah, like I said, I can see both of it. But however, there was no one person behind COVID-19 that aimed it directly at America. Is the break off point between the two. But I see what you're. I see
Allegedly.
what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You could put as many alleges as you want. However, I think that our faith in humanity is in my hot take is absolutely destroyed. Do I still have faith if I see somebody hurt on the side of the road? Yeah, I'll stop and help them if they're masked. You know what I mean? Or, hopefully if their eye pops out to knock their mask off their face, or if they don't have a mask on and their eye is out of their socket, maybe they have their vaccination card.
Yeah. If I saw someone dying on the side of the road, I'd certainly think about calling 911.
Yeah, I'd
think about it.
Well, number one,
I'd strongly consider it.
Well, if I saw somebody dying on the side of the road, I'd be like, okay, 911, let me see, what color are they? But here's what I'm trying to say. Here's what I'm trying to say. I thank you for seeing my sentiment, and I see what I agree with what you're saying as well. I think that rush to judgment, national conscience is good, but Jake, I'm just like so exhausted with all of the just division upon division upon division upon division, where just like it seems like if we have, I don't want to just put it politically because it's not all political, but we just can't seem to get anything done. And it's all on the basis of a house divided amongst itself will not stand. And if we plan on having any staying power as a power country, we really need to get our shit together. And the only time in my lifetime that I can feel that we somewhat had our shit together was that tragic date. That's why, and it's probably a horrible example, but that's the only thing I had to go back on my mind. And that's literally how I wrote it down. But understanding the sentiment is that we got to find some way. I know it's not going to be a country of euphoria. I know it's never going to be perfect. We would not be free, like you said, if it was fucking perfect. But right now, dude, where the fuck are we headed right now, man?
Yeah, but I mean, like, that could be said, all throughout.
I mean, yeah, we're not China. I get that. Even I was talking with my best friend earlier today, and she was like, her daughter wants to just move to, South America because she just doesn't feel like America is a place for her anymore. And I'm like, you know what? America has its black guys. America has its dark histories. America has its fuck ups and its problems and its growing crops of problems, but we're not a third world country yet. We are still. It feels
like we're on the verge of it.
We're on the verge of it, but we are still a lot. As fucked up as this place is, we're still a whole lot better than where we could be. You know what I mean?
I think it's complicated, man, because I agree with you. Like, I think the real problem are just I think the biggest problem is that we had a fucking real a real world host, you know, or, you know, we had a fucking reality show host in the office who really divided us. I think that really divided us.
I'd said it before and I'll say it again. It stirred up the rested sediment of this country.
Yeah.
It stirred up the guck shit that fell to the bottom of this country. The bottom feeders were given a ladder to come to the top. And once they found a rhythm to swim, they started to swarm. And I'm not, and that's saying two things. That's saying that one, he stirred it up, and two, it had always been there, but it had been dormant at the bottom. And they got a leader. They got someone in there, and they didn't even know that it was the one that they wanted until he was there.
And I would consider myself a progressive as a person, you know, not even just politically, just as a human. I like to change and progress, you know, and like, you know, grow. And I think that should be the same for our country. And I can't even just blame Donald Trump and, you know, Ted Cruz and all of them. It's not just them.
No.
It's, you know, it's the other people too, like Democrats who are just like, oh yeah, they're gone now. It's like, no, they're not.
Don't forget about the flamers. Don't forget about the fan flamers. Good Lord. Don't forget about the fan flamers, the ones that see a little fire and add a lot more fan to it. Don't forget about those guys. We call them media.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of complex things that I don't know. I actually think could you imagine if like 9/11 happened and Trump was in office? Because like that's the thing is like we would have all been like, oh shit, we got to take care of this. Trump's our guy. We're gonna back him. You know, like we all would have been like, fuck it, we're in now. We're in too deep. Because Trump would have come out and been like, these monsters are monsters, and we all would have been like, yeah. And he would have been like, they're sons of bitches, those fuckers. He would have used that language too, and we all would have been like, yeah. And
after what we seen, I don't think he would have. Maybe in his first year, I would have said I would agree with you, but after 4 years with him, I think he probably would have. I mean, you have to realize that he also invited 9/11 terrorists to Camp David. But I don't know if he necessarily would.
But you see what I mean.
But I do see what you're. I see what you're saying, and he was.
And I don't think Joe Biden would be much better. So you know. And I think Joe Biden like desperately wants us to go to war with Russia.
Dude, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think he's like the first Democrat president that I believe has been so fucking war hungry. And we should have known this during his run, where how much, you know, he brought up Bo and all of the war that, you know, his family has been through. We should have known that dude was coming into the White House with some AK-47s. He is really hungry for war.
I've been saying it since before he took off. You know, when we used to have all the conversations about like the electoral race and then the president, like everyone's like, oh my God, Joe Biden is such a socialist communist asshole. And I'm like, dude, Joe Biden is basically a Republican. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Like,
it was the aviators. Aviator sunglasses immediately say, I want some fucking war. I want some war, man.
Looking like freaking, you know, Top Gun Maverick.
Look at the way he walks when he's got his old man happy walk, or it's either his happy walk or his I gotta go pee walk. One or the other. They both look the same. You see the way he walks when he's got his aviator on. He's just ready to just trot his old ass to war. I have never seen a Democratic president more war. He's not war hungry. He's war horny. He is horny for some fighting.
Yeah, and I think, you know, he saw two conflicts, right? He saw two conflicts. He's like, oh, there's the conflict with China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we don't fucking stand a chance over there. And then he saw the conflict with, you know, Ukraine and Russia, and he's like, we could fuck up Russia, probably.
Yeah.
So he picked the lesser of two evils, I think, even though the Taiwan one is probably...
on the news in the next
This
week,
is important.
if I see him on any news outlet, media, Twitter, whatever, and he's got those damn aviators on, that's the sign.
Done.
It's fucking over. It's over.
I'm getting drafted. I pre-shaved my head because I knew it was coming.
I pre-shaved my balls because I knew I was coming. I swear, if we looked into Joe Biden's aviators, we're probably going to see the reflection of Putin.
Yeah. But hey, if we go to war with Russia, could this be our
nope.
Could this be your 9/11?
Nope.
That you want?
Nope. Because
why not?
Because Putin moved like a couple of shoes closer to the Ukrainian border, and immediately the other side was pointing out that Biden's at Camp David.
Yeah, but I think one thing that I think the left and the right agree on is like Russia sucks.
It has no, they don't. It has to be.
They don't.
I don't think so. It has to. Well, okay, you know what? The right and the left do, but then you have to realize we have our third party: the right, the left, the crazy,
and the Tucker Carlsons.
Yeah, the Tuckers and the Trumpers. You know what I mean? Those guys over there now have a.
You
very
see that
good
clip
voice.
of Tucker Carlson where they're like, the guy's like, why would we defend Ukraine? Or Tucker's like, why would we defend Ukraine? And the guy responded like, well, because they're a democracy and we believe in democracy in this country. And and Tucker's response was, well, I guess I believe in democracy.
Oh God!
And it's
anything I see come across my social media with Tucker on it, I immediately move past it. Nevertheless,
it's so entertaining. I can't help but it's like watching a car accident.
Yeah, you're glutton for punishment. I get it. It's fine. You like to be tied up and whipped. Clearly,
maybe that hooks in the back.
Yeah. Oh, the skin hooks. The skin hooks. Yeah. But anyway, that was what
I met a guy that was into that.
I interviewed a guy on my show that does that for entertainment. I don't know if he has it in his sexual life. Okay, actually, I'm lying. I know he has it in his sexual life because I may or may not have given his OnlyFans.
Well, it's got to be a sexual thing.
One
There's
follow.
No other reason to do it.
He did it for entertainment at first, but then once I, subscribed to his OnlyFans because I just was interested in seeing, I realized that it's definitely part of his sexuality. Nevertheless, I that was my thought that I had. A wise man once said, "Bring together a division is to have a mutual enemy." That was my point. Thank you for hashing it out with me. I agree with what you're saying.
No,
thank you for seeing.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying too.
Yeah,
I totally get it. I totally get it.
I don't want to capitalize on the whole show, but I very rarely wrote things down. I have something else that I wrote down, but that can definitely stay green.
Oh, okay. You save it for next week.
Yeah. It's great. It's evergreen.
I had one topic I wanted to bring up now that we're nearing the end of the show. Yeah, you're just so cute. Brushing your beard.
It's a comb
over there. I could tell.
Do you see the new sleep number thing back there? See a new sleep number?
Oh. That's a big old bed.
It's actually not that big.
Looks nice.
I can't slide over because I forgot to put pants on.
I sent you a video yesterday. I'm sure you didn't watch it.
I did not.
It was a long video.
I did not watch it. And once we're done with the show, I'll tell you why I didn't.
Okay. I thought it was an interesting video because it's something that I've actually brought up on this show before. And this person, I think, summarized it really well. This person's name is JXC. And you can check out his video. It's about Twitch streamers basically using content as like other people's content as free content.
It's titled reaction content.
Right. And the video goes into, and I've said this before, and every time I bring it up, I feel like if I bring it up on a public forum, I feel like I always get attacked by people for even mentioning that this is the case. And don't get me wrong, I like reaction videos. I watch reaction videos. I have done reaction videos. The problem I have, and what is brought up in this video, is when a Twitch streamer just puts on a video and then eats.
Did you send that to me in response to the video clip that I sent you?
I did not.
Okay.
I was just sending it to you.
Oh, okay. Because I
thought it was interesting.
Because I had sent you a clip of a Twitch streamer holding 4.2 thousand people as he slept, and I thought that you were sending that as a response.
No, listen. Actually, I think that's cool. Like, if you can have viewers watching you sleep, whatever, more power to you. What I would have an issue with is if you had viewers watching you sleep while you also had another content creator's video on the screen while you sleep. Then I'd have an issue with it.
He did that today. I mean? He did that he did that yesterday, where he went really to weird, sleep. And he had clips of XQC's Twitch stream. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're getting to something. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, unless you get like the permission from that content creator, like, hey, I'm going to use your content for this. Like, that's fine. The reason this guy made this video was specifically about Hasan Piker, who I actually think is a fun Twitch streamer. He delves into politics from time to time, but he also does video games. He's friends with XQC, all that jazz. And I think he's pretty fun most of the time. But I've noticed this and have complained about this, and this is often when I get attacked by people, is like if I mention like, hey, I just watched this video of Hasan reacting to this video, and he literally leaves the room. So like Hasan reacted to JXC's video, to one of his videos. It was a 14-minute video where for 6 minutes he left the room to go cook chicken. And then he came back and ate during the video and reacted and said for a total of 14 minutes, he talked for a total of like a minute and a half. And that's just not transformative. And the reaction online is always a Twitch streamer to just go, oh, this guy just told me to react harder. And I just think that's such a stupid and passive aggressive way to handle that, because he's not asking you to react harder. He's asking you to react at all. Because if you're going to, and Hasan also talks about like, oh, well, I stream for 13 hours. Am I not allowed to eat? Am I not allowed to go to the bathroom? It's like, no, bro, you can add a screen on there that says, be right back. Or you can show an old clip from your show while you're doing whatever you're doing. Or you could stream for 6 hours instead of 13. I don't know. You know, like there are a myriad of different solutions than stealing people's content, essentially.
So let me ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
well, last thing I'll mention, I guess, is like I think the real issue with this is not so much, you know, it doesn't have any real effect right now. I think this will expedite people more and more to just be like, never use my content ever, you know, and it's gonna progress into this thing where it's like everyone who reacts is bad. And that's not what I want, because I want people to be able to react. But if every content creator looks at React channels and React Twitch as these people, well, then everyone loses. You know what I mean? And the shitty thing is, like, Hasan does good React videos when he actually reacts. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
So let me try to understand. I think I understand what you're saying, but I just want to give a little bit more context, or I want to garner a little bit more context. So I'm going to make it personal. So I've been watching the GTA Online heist thing on the NoPixel server. I found a website that allows me to watch multiple streams at one time. If I would have taken that and streamed it on my Twitch, is that bad?
It's more transformative than what Hasan is doing, straight up.
So,
because at least you're providing a service of combining these streams, where Hasan is adding literally nothing by sitting in the corner and eating chicken.
well, see, okay,
You know what I mean?
because if I did that, if I streamed the multiple streams, I would be all of the stuff that I'm saying to myself and filling my room with, I would be saying on the stream as well. You know, like XQC is not listening to anything that anybody is saying. They just ran down a plan in detail, and Sykkuno was not paying attention, and he's going to. So
that's a reaction video.
So that's a reaction to me reacting to them live. Is that
if you're commenting and talking, I don't have an issue with it. It's when you're just sitting there eating chicken.
So if I put that multi-stream on my Twitch and I don't say anything, I just stream what they're streaming, that's the bad part, right?
I mean, I guess it's all personal opinion. If you ask them and they're like, yeah, that's fine.
So isn't that, so I would have to literally go to all 7 of those streamers and ask them before I do that, right? Or would that be bad?
I mean, you don't have to do anything, right? Because people just do it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I didn't do it because number one, I didn't know if I could possibly stream while watching. You know, I don't have a gaming computer, so I don't, technicals. But what I'm saying to what your case is, to what Hasan did wrong, putting on someone else's content, going and getting a hot dog, and then coming back in 14 minutes offering 1 minute of actual reaction. That's the bad part. So it would have been, if I was in that if my situation was in the same vein, wouldn't I be basically Hasan if I was just streaming those guys and not adding anything to what I was watching?
Especially if you were just streaming one of their screens. At least if you're streaming 4 of their screens, at least you're providing some sort of service.
Oh yeah, I streamed 7 of them.
You know what I mean though? Like at least you're providing something.
Okay. So basically what Hasan did is that he had...
I still think that's not great, but like at least that is like providing some sort of service, where Hasan is literally just playing a video and he's like, oh, I need to make some food. Let me find a video. And then he just plays it. What I will say about Hasan is he responded and said like, oh, he doesn't want me to watch his videos. I won't anymore. But like he mentions that, JXC mentions that in his video, and he's like, that's nice and stuff that he's like, you won't watch my videos anymore and not, that's fine. But it does kind of scream of like bare minimum. Like that's the bare minimum you could do. Because the alternative to saying like, I won't watch his videos anymore is to be like, I'm just going to continue to steal his videos. When in reality, you just shouldn't be doing that. Like figure something else out. If you have to take a shit, man, just put up a bumper that says, hey, gone taking a shit, I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm just trying to really understand where the wrong is and where the right is, because there seems like there's a wrong and there's a right. So if I'm streaming Stardew Valley play, which I used to do, and I get hungry for a pizza from, I don't know, let's say Streets of New York. I want a pizza from Streets of New York with a very, very expensive salad. And I want to drive there, with a very good looking friend and
watch Dune.
And watch Dune. But while I do all that, I pause my gameplay and I put on the YouTube channel of what's your internet for today. And I put that on and I go and I get a pizza with my good looking friend. That's wrong?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Okay. But if I put on it's your internet for today, and then I'm actively commenting on the videos that are playing, that's the right.
I think that's fine.
Okay, I got it now.
Because, well, and it also just has to do with fair use, right? Fair use is if you make a piece of content transformative. Okay. It's not transformative if you're just playing it on your stream. But if you're sitting there pausing it, talking about what's going on, commenting on it. That's transformative.
So
you're adding something to the video.
So if I just brought up XQC's stream of the bank heist and just let it stream, that would be wrong. But if I brought up a multi-stream who XQC is streaming or playing along with in GTA, XQC, Sykkuno, Buddha, Blastoise, Omni, all the other Anthony Z, all those guys that are in, if I had a multi-stream, that's the right, because that's transformative, other than me just having XQC stream up on my Twitch and that's all people see and I don't say anything about it.
Yeah, I would say that one's a little bit more gray, right? Because you're still just kind of showing people's content, but at least you're doing something. I don't know. I don't know.
Jake, now you're confusing me, because I don't know if I'm right to do that or if I'm wrong to do that now.
I have no idea. It's all just moral questions, because really, there's no one's gonna sue anyone over this. It's all about creator etiquette and just respecting your fellow creator, right?
Right.
But what I have thought about doing, Cory, is I have thought about just putting on Hasan's stream the next time he streams, with just a little bubble of me in the corner. I'll get up, I'll go eat pizza, carry out my day. I'll even go to work and leave the stream up. Because I just thought I think that would be fucking hilarious. But yeah.
I thought
it's something I've been thinking about. It's also just annoying as a fan when you're watching someone and it's like, why am I watching this? I could just watch their video. It's so annoying.
Well, here's what's interesting is that DW, the streamer DW, is where I saw the multi-stream at first. And you and I had mentioned, and I don't know if you just did it in jest, but you had said, oh, you should stream the multi-stream on your Twitch. And I thought about it for a minute. And then I was watching the next bank heist on DW's stream, because that's exactly what he did. And there was a glitch in the game, and the police characters got involved. And DW says something that really made me put my brakes on. He said, I didn't ask the streamers playing the police if I could stream their streams. He'd asked everybody else that was, participated in the heist, but he didn't ask the streamers that were cops. So that made me put the brakes on it, because I'm like, crap, do I need to reach out to XQC, Blastoise, and all these other cats to see if I'm able to stream it or not? You know what I mean? But, that's what really made me put the brakes on it.
First of all, I think most content creators really wouldn't care that much.
They don't.
And second of all, you can't expect a smaller streamer to reach out or even get a response. The really shitty, and I would almost say insidious thing that Hasan does is he is a big streamer and he can easily reach out to anybody he wants, because he's the biggest guy out there. He's one of the top 10 streamers.
Was he on that list of the ones that make the most money that we went through? Yeah.
He was like number 7 or something.
Yeah. And, it's interesting. I'm sorry that I didn't watch that clip. I'll explain to you after the show why. But
it's very ominous.
Well, that's just something I just want to keep it off the air. Is that okay?
No, yeah, I got you.
Jesus,
but you brought it up.
Can't we have just some decorum here? Can we have something between you and I? Can we have something between?
We can, but you brought it up on the show right now.
I brought it up that I'm not going to bring it up.
Okay. Let's move on then.
And then I also need to issue an on-air apology to my boy Austin. He reached out to me and he wanted to discuss my burritos, and I didn't follow back up with him. I reached out back up with him immediately and said, "Hey, I got a lot going on, blah 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 blah. I'll reach back out to you," and I never did. So Austin, please consider this my apology. And yes, Jake, I'm glad you picked up what I just placed down.
Yeah. You're an asshole. That's all. Hypocrite was probably the better choice of words, but
No, I told Austin that I wanted to talk to him about my kitchen sink burritos, and I never did. And he reached out to me, and I just wanted to give him a public apology and tell him that, I'm sorry that I didn't reach out, but I have full intentions on never doing so. I'm kidding, Austin. We talk all the time. We talk all the time. No, Austin loves me.
That's not what he says to me, but
he wants to have my chocolate podcast, baby.
Oh, that might be hard for him to do. Anyway, I think we should wrap up the show, I guess. 9/11 bad. Just a reminder. I feel like we didn't say that at all. 9/11 was bad, so
I said it. I thought I made it clear.
Just a reminder.
No, I'm comfortable with the fact that I made it clear that 9/11 was bad.
Yeah, don't do that, you guys.
And don't do what don't do what Hasan does. Hasan bad.
Yeah. Hasan bad. 9/11 bad. These are that's actually in our mission statement as Lonercast.
Yeah.
Hasan bad. 9/11 bad.
Overpriced Streets of New York pizza with overpriced salad and sexy friend. Good.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, make sure you check out the Lonercast channel. We have a lot of fun content over there. Cory, what about you? Any fun content to talk about?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm writing some really cathartic things that it's going to launch soon on my blog, which I very rarely promote. It has I don't know how I maintain the readership that I have on my blog and the subscribers that I have on my blog. But it's After the Levels.
5
at afterthelevels.com. What's 5?
That's the viewership.
Yeah, no. Believe it or not, After Levels almost does as well as Fat Guy. But check out Fat Guy Radio Show, and our 2022 Draws for You campaign is still in full swing. Help us get our pants off. I'm always asking people to take their pants off. Now you have the power to take our pants off. Hell, even take my pants off.
Now you have a friend in the pants off business.
Shane Company.
Fat Guy Radio Show.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Scottsdale Road in Tacoma. Fat Guy Radio.